Good morning, friends. Welcome to Coffee Talk. And we don't have coffee. But we'll talk. And hopefully you'll talk with us. And hopefully you're talking with people in your life about things that are going on. Things that are going on at Lakeview. We love to connect with you, on this weekly basis and kind of talk about what we talked about, and then look forward in the head. So this is information. This is opportunity for you to kind of converse along with us. I don't know if you do this where you're listening to a podcast, and then you get to that point where you want to talk to them and you have to pause and then talk to the person next to you who's listening to the podcast as well, and actually.
You know what frustrates me is when we're watching something not necessarily that intellectual, but as a family, and my wife will say it'll spark something and she'll start talking in the middle of it. I'm like, I'm watching here, turn it off first. There's,
Yeah.
But just how different people view things. But yeah,
it's the same with us. But for us, it's like my kids always want to know. I know that actor from another movie, and then they have to talk about who that is.
Yeah.
Right. You just removed yourself from the movie. Now you're not listening to the story. You're thinking about the actor. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? And half the time that's just me. Just relax. Just relax. What I would love to have us do is look back on the sermon from this last week, where we're going through this series called Of Wisdom, and wisdom is calling, and wisdom is gently drawing us in to come and sit at the table with her, and to understand. And so Jeff, there's multi layers to Proverbs, and I think that's where some people would look at this and but Proverbs, great, read it through, get wisdom, done, right? But it's also not that easy. It's also like saying, well, just love people. Not that hard, just do it. Right? Actually, in the heat of the moment, or through lifespans, or in different situations, it's not that it's not true, it's harder to do. And so you need to be able to see it from different angles and kind of have it go down deep and understand it. And that's what I do love about Proverbs, is there's so many levels and layers. I don't know if that's kind of struck you backwards as you've kind of been studying it.
Well, I've always struggled with the Proverbs, because if I want to read a chapter, say I read a chapter a day, there's sometimes there's about 31 chapters, and so you read a chapter a day in a month, and you read the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I would be reading, and I'd be, what was the one I just before? Okay, that's good. Yeah. Oh, what was the one right before? Oh, right. Yeah.
The verse or the chapter.
The verses.
Yeah. The verses, because
it's so many proverbs.
He pops around so quickly.
But they always keep coming back to themes, you said. Layers maybe is a good way to think about it, but it keeps coming back to the same themes, but in a different way, and it's really
and not only that, in our efficiency mindset, we want to get through the chapter, but then you come across this one verse and you're like, okay, well, that seems true in all circumstances, and then you move on to the next verse so you can get through that chapter. And yet I've also heard with Proverbs especially, sometimes that one verse where it says wisdom is this, or my son, listen to this, or a challenge, sometimes it's like a piece of hard candy, and you actually have to sit on it for a little bit. Because the more you do, the more it actually kind of will speak these different volumes, and it can become mind-boggling when you take some time to consider some of these things. But also, it's also a bit of a challenge too, because then you also just feel like, I've done one verse today and that's it, and it's not speaking to me yet. They're right? So there's a challenge with that. But Jeff, you led us through chapter 8 this last Sunday, and wisdom, like I said, was kind of inviting, and there was a beautiful moment where this layer came. So to give a bit of context, there was a group of people who got together a couple weeks ago and just said, let's read through a couple of the Proverbs. And so we sat and we read 1 through 10 of the Proverbs out loud to each other, and we each kind of took a section or a chapter. And there was one moment where chapter 8 was being read by a female in the group. And just that was such a beautiful picture, not just of this person, but of wisdom just calling out in this voice that's saying, you know, I'm asking you, and I'm, you know, like a nurturing mother who's trying to tell you the right thing to do. So there was like this personification that I kind of already had a couple weeks ago, just in this it's this woman's voice. And then we got to the chapter on Sunday, and then you added this another layer of personification. Can you tell us about that?
I think what you're referring to is, so Proverbs is personifying wisdom as a woman who calls out and who's inviting, and then it contrasts
a wise woman
with a foolish woman, right? So both women are inviting, right? Because, you know, it's not a sexist thing. The setting is a father teaching his son, right? And so for a son, what's going to be tempting is likely a woman at some point. And so which women are you going to choose, right?
Yeah.
So it's personified, but there's a real person that embodies all of the wisdom of the Proverbs that we learn about in the New Testament.
Yeah.
And so in 1 Corinthians, it connects that to Jesus. Jesus is the wisdom of God, you know, and so that's what I think you're talking about, right? And so like, whoa, you know, like there is a real person, you know.
And even if Proverbs 8 would have just looked at, you know, this female wisdom calling out, you know, even just the overall personification, man or woman, it wasn't the point. The point was that the personification was saying, here's wisdom. If wisdom was a person, that wisdom was with God at the beginning of all things, and wisdom calls forth. And not only that, right when you got to the end of the chapter, it says, you know, death is for those who don't choose wisdom, and so wisdom is calling us to life. And then Jesus comes along and says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus says, before Abraham was, I am. Right? Jesus was there in all these things. And so then when you say the personification of wisdom is not just this woman, but
not
actually
a literary device, but
it's not just a literary device. It's a real being who is Jesus. And that's where this beautiful invitation, I think, comes. And that's why I think even just taking that moment to, like a hard candy, just let it saturate a little bit. If Jesus, like that personification, is calling us forward to life, why wouldn't we follow that? Right? Like you said, you said righteousness, blessing, all these different things follow wisdom, and that's Jesus, right? And so to choose Jesus is to choose life, and that's what I think really was a beautiful moment for me this last Sunday of just realizing that we have life in Christ.
So good. If we have life, if we have Christ, we have all the wisdom of the Proverbs.
One of the first verses that I memorized when I was doing a thing in college was 1 John 5:11-12, and this is the testimony: God has given us eternal life, and this life is in His Son. He who has the Son has life. He who does not have the Son of God does not have life. Right? And it just brings those things all together. And so we like wisdom, we are inviting you to choose Christ more and more, whether it's in a Sunday gathering, whether it's in a life group that, you know, you might be looking at jumping into in the fall, whether it's, you know, your daily commute, whether it's people you're connecting with in your work and your life and your family. Wisdom is gently calling you and saying, here's a much better way to live. I plead with you, rather than you have to or else, right? And that's the beauty of wisdom too. So we lovingly encourage you to choose life, to choose Christ, to choose wisdom. So with that, we also encourage you to connect with others. It is a wise thing to do. And so this Friday night, what's happening Friday night?
Oh, it's I was trying to think of a fancy way to say it, but it's a sip and see, we've called it.
Sip and see is
It's an
beautiful.
exciting time for the women to go and meet baby Jackson. And I don't know if they're wanting people to hold him yet because he was premature, but he has gone past his birthday, which is really exciting because the further he gets along and is healthy, the more the greater it is. So he's going to be there on Friday night. So more information is on the screen here, but sip and see on Friday night. Talk to Priscilla if you want to know more, and her contact information is here too. So
and I feel bad, and I feel like I have to admit it on camera. I dropped the ball because even though Jackson was born May 1st, he's like been kind of going through this whole thing, and it wasn't until 2 weeks ago when I was doing announcements. That was his first Sunday morning at church, and I was doing announcements, and I was supposed to say, Jackson, we can officially welcome you to church today, even though he had kind of been around the building before. But Jackson, we officially welcome you, and you've had quite an amazing journey, life.
Wow.
Just this journey since May 1st, and even before then, so we want to continue to pray for the Kesslers and to encourage them. And so I think Alyssa's going to kind of walk people through that on Friday night, so that'll be a really exciting time. We encourage you to do that. And then just a reminder, because it's Jeff and I and there's nobody else over there, there's no youth on Monday, and so we will take this Monday off. And so getting ready for school, so if you want on a Monday night, get all your school supplies and lay out your first set of jeans and your new shoes. That was always a big thing for us, new shoes before school.
Okay.
So that's happening this coming Monday. The following Monday, which is youth, it is
a Sunshine Barbecue.
Sunshine Barbecue, and it says on Instagram September 2nd.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
But then I believe it's the September 1st is the Monday.
Yeah.
So be looking for announcements for that, because there will be clarification on that. And so we want to just remind everybody that it's going to be that Monday, which is September 1st. I was going to say May 1st. September 1st. And so looking forward to that. And other than that, thank you for hanging out with us today. Hopefully you're having a wonderful coffee or tea. And hopefully you are choosing wisdom as you head forward into this week. And we'll see you on Sunday.